chairman, actually the CEO of United Millers Cereals Association, that is the chairman, I beg your pardon, Mr. Ken Nyaga, who is from the United Grain Millers Association. Thank you so much for speaking to us on KTN Business. And with the new developments around the issue by KEBS indicating that 5 of the millers, actually 5 of the companies that have their products on the shelves to be suspended, what does the union have to say about this, especially now that fear continues to grip many Kenyans who are trying to come to terms with this new latest piece of information?
Thank you very much. I think one, we need to appreciate and understand that the KEBS, they have their own work to do. And I believe one of the things that they have to do is what they have already done, and it's in the public domain. And as an association, basically we are behind them. We want to make sure that every miller is compliant. What we are just trying to ask KEBS is that we need to work together. This is something that we even never knew that they were actually going about until on Friday when the release was done. Today we had a meeting with some of the senior officials from the KEBS, and what we are saying, it's not that we are saying they should stop doing it. It's very good even for us as an association. This is one of the things we've been talking to our members about food safety. When we talk of the issue of aflatoxin is an issue that is so sensitive. We as a processors, we also eat actually the same ugari that we are processing the unga for. So we are not also safe. So we have encouraged them to go ahead. Only that we would like to work together. And for those millers that actually their ungas have been removed from the shelves, we are actually trying to work with them so that we see how fast these guys can comply so that they can be back in business.
Nyaga, just allow me to interject a bit. Perhaps KEBS is saying that the millers should ensure that whatever is at the end of the chain in terms of what is delivered to the supermarkets and the outlets, the quality issues squarely lie with the millers. Do you agree to this, and what is the normal practice in terms of how this should be conducted?
Okay, let me take you back a bit because this issue of aflatoxin actually just came up the other day, like 3-4 years ago. And well, as much as we want to agree we need to have our own internal controls and compliance. There are some few hiccups here and there and challenges that we face as millers. What we have been asking KEBS is just one thing, because I understand most of this maize that is coming from Uganda is the one that has very high aflatoxin levels. So I've been trying to ask them why can't they check these things at the entry point. From Uganda, they should have an office whereby every maize coming in this country, they have to certify and give certificate for it. And it becomes very easy for us as millers because what we will only need to ask actually from the middlemen is a certificate of compliance from KEBS. That is one. Two, the issue of compliance, actually the testing kits for aflatoxin is something that needs to be discussed. We've actually aired this thing on several occasions with KEBS because a testing kit and a machine for aflatoxin goes for almost $500,000. And not every miller would afford this, but as an association, we are trying to see whether we can be able to set a laboratory for it. Because when you do it outside, it's damn expensive. Every test, one test goes for 3,000 shillings. And if maybe you brought a trailer full of maize, you need to get like around 8 samples from that trailer so that you can be able to do, which is 24,000. It's a very expensive exercise. But if we have to take it ourselves as an association and we come up with our own laboratory, it will be relatively cheap for us. And I think this is the way that we are following up, and we have even asked for an appointment with the KEBS so that they can also advise us on the way to go about it.
Okay, Mr. Nyaga, the final question to you. In relation to this suspension of the 5 brands, what does this mean for these millers? Will they perhaps downsize on their staff? What will happen in terms of even them delivering products to the market?
Okay, let me put this first. From my association, I only have one brand that has been actually removed from shelf. The other one is for another association called the Cereal Millers Association. These are the big millers, the 4 of them. But now I'm sure, and okay, the effect would be the same for all of them. I spoke to the compliant manager, the compliant director at the KEBS, and the area they comply, because they were given the letter and they were told what they need to do. The area they do it, the compliance director told me they can do it as early even as this week. They can clear them as long as they comply early. The only problem, and I mentioned this when I was on your station there, I mentioned this. I wish the same way it was done when the media came in and they were told these guys have not complied, would be the same way they would do when they reinstate these guys, because now it means now you have to start again marketing for your unga, which may take even a very long time, for almost 2 years, for it to go back to where it was. So
Thank you.
It's not a very simple thing for those millers who have been affected.
All right. Thank you so much, Ken Nyaga, who is the chairman of the United Grain Millers Association, just speaking to us and giving us some more perspectives into this very hot issue that has gripped the country. We continue to stay on this story and we'll be giving you subsequent updates.